Hey! So in just a couple days, I'm about to go on a big trip to Asia for 3 weeks. And so over the past week or so, I've been packing and trying to get everything ready. And so I thought it would be really fun to do a little blog post and vlog about some of my favorite tips for packing for overseas traveling. So here are a few of my tips. Okay, packing for traveling overseas can be quite the challenge sometimes. With the weight limits and everything, which first thing, check with your airline and see what the weight limit is for your suitcase and your carry-on, because with most airlines you can have a suitcase, a carry-on, and then a personal item like a purse or a backpack or something like that. So that's really nice. But the thing is that your suitcase for most airlines overseas has to be 50 pounds or under, but sometimes it's up to 70. So check with your airline and see what the requirement is. The challenge for me though on this trip is that while we're in China, we're taking a ton of internal flights within the country, and so those requirements are different than like our flight over to China. So while we're within China and traveling, our suitcase has to be 44 pounds or less. So I'm having to pack for 3 weeks with a suitcase that's 44 pounds or less and a carry-on that is 11 pounds or less. So that's very challenging, but I think with these tips, you'll be able to do it too. Okay, the first thing that I would say comes in handy a lot would be packing cubes, and I just started using them for this trip because I had so much clothes that I needed to fit in a suitcase for China and Japan that I thought I'll just try the packing cubes and see what I think about them. And with this part of the packing process, they've been great so far, but I'll let you know what I think about them after the trip, just so you have like the before thought and then the after about what I think about traveling with them. Because when they're in the suitcase right now, they seem great, like everything fits in there. It makes it a lot more organized, which I really like, but I just want to see how it goes throughout the trip and then see if I like them a lot and then end up using them again. And if you like midnight driving with the windows down, and if you like going places we can't even pronounce, if you like to do whatever you've been dreaming about, baby you're perfect, baby you're perfect. Okay, the next thing that I would say is in your carry-on, I would pack an outfit for when you get there to the airport, because usually, especially with traveling overseas, I know last summer whenever we traveled to Europe for a Mediterranean cruise, we landed in Barcelona and it was like, with the time difference, it was earlier that morning. So we changed our clothes once we got to the airport and then went and did our stuff for the day. So I would say an important thing to pack in your carry-on is a change of clothes for the day once you get there, if you're planning on doing something that day that you arrive. If you like causing trouble up in hotel rooms, and if you like having secret little rendezvous. So while you're on these long overseas flights, I would say that my biggest thing is comfort. So I always want to be super comfortable while I'm on these flights, especially if I plan on sleeping most of the way there or something like that. So my biggest tip for that is to pack in your purse or backpack makeup wipes. So I have this, and I have some makeup wipes in here, and once I get on the plane, I usually get settled and everything and then take off my makeup, just because that makes me feel like super comfortable, and I feel like I sleep a lot better and get a lot more rest once I do that. And plus, whenever you're landing, you're going to want to reapply your makeup anyways, especially if you're planning on doing something that day. So I just think that's a great way to get comfortable. Also, fuzzy socks. That is the move. Alright, so my last tip for packing for traveling overseas would be to get luggage tags. and this one is super cute. It says, "And so the adventure begins." And we got these on Amazon. And they came in a pack with about 10 of them, I think. And so we had plenty for people in our family to use. And so I put one on my big suitcase, one on my carry-on, and one on my backpack. And you can't see all the information at first, which is nice that it's like covered up, and then you can open it up and see everything. But I would say that luggage tags is a big must-have, just because like losing your luggage is one of the biggest fears while traveling, and I think that having one that you buy that's more durable than like the paper ones that you get from the airport would be very beneficial, and also they're just way cuter. So definitely go check these out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that these tips help you while you're packing for traveling overseas, and I hope you have a wonderful trip. I'm going to put a link to my blog post about this stuff down below in the description box, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks!